Uh, yeah, sure. Hi, hello, how are you? Yeah, sure. Meeting ID? Okay, I can give the meeting ID. 1 second. Hi, hello, how are you? Yeah, sure. Meeting ID is 952 7568. Yeah, 4970. Yeah, passcode. Yeah, 906 147. Yeah, I think you are there. You came. 1 second. I'm seeing here 3 people in meeting. Admit. Okay, got you. Got you. Oh, okay.
My grandfather for a moment.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, Senator. Yeah, we are there.
Okay, well, let's see. Okay, yes, I'm here.
Yeah. I'm here. Just give me 2 minutes. I'll come. We will discuss what we want to speak. Basically, why Trump should be elected is the topic today.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'll start with what are the problems the country is facing and so on after introducing you properly. Last time I couldn't introduce to my audience properly.
Very good.
Okay, I'll be back in a second, please.
Senator sir, a little bit till up the laptop because it is headroom is heavy in your heavy space and head. Sir, here can
Okay,
I
yeah.
call you?
Yeah, I'm there. So I'll first introduce you when the show begins. Then I'll start speaking about the things, what are the problems country is facing, and then we will go one issue by another issue. And then at the end of each question, whatever you explain, you say Trump is necessary, something like that.
Okay.
I Hello, Senator.
Yes.
Yeah. So at the end of each explanation you want to give, and then you would say this is why Trump is required in Republican Conservative Party is required in the House, Senate, as well as White House. That's what you conclude at the end of each explanation you give for a question.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
That's fine.
Okay. So we have 6 more minutes to go.
Okay. So how do you think it's going in the Indian community?
Good, sir. How are you seeing that elections are going on? I think about 1 million votes are polled here in New Jersey.
Right.
So what is the trend, sir?
What I was saying is, what do you hear when you talk with members of the community out there, which way they might be tending to go?
we feel and we wish the same because we feel that there is an underlying kind of a silent majority, but we wouldn't know what happens.
I don't think anybody really knows at this point in time.
Yep.
But it seems to be improving.
Can you just check the voice? Your voice is not very clear. Maybe your yeah, now it is clear. Maybe it is too near. Like
Yeah, well, I've come closer to the.
Okay.
Does that help better?
Yeah, you don't have earphones like this in case that you can have, because this way your face is too close to camera.
Okay, there. That's better.
Yeah, this is better.
Yeah. Actually, this is my wife's computer.
Hmm.
Got a.
Yeah, not yet. I'm just setting my things. So there is an introduction about you. I have to keep everything ready. See, my first question is what are the problems the country is facing? And then I'll ask why this election is necessary for every citizen of America. Okay, so then thereafter I talk to COVID, I talk to internal security, safety and security, uh, processions, peaceful processions, so-called peaceful processions, and then foreign policy, and then specific to New Jersey, COVID handling of New Jersey, and any other problems that you want me to ask about Murphy, I can ask.
Well, of course, there is the hanky panky that's taken place with his son Hunter, which he was very involved in. You might have something about that. His dealings with China
Mhm.
and so on.
Mhm. And you want to talk about the Senate, I'm sorry, Senate summoning Twitter and then Facebook and asking why they are blocking Hunter Biden's story?
Yes, in fact, the media in general.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
It shows the uphill battle that President Trump has had with the media totally against him
Mhm.
continuously. They never put the stories correctly.
Yeah. Lalish, I think 629. Lalish?
Yes, sir, ready.
Okay.
కొంచెం లిటిల్ బిట్ గెస్ ని కొంచెం బ్యాక్ వెళ్ళమంటే బెటర్ సార్ అది.
Because if he's asking you to little bit go backwards, Senator.
Yes.
Because
Yeah, if you go a little bit back, the mic is not catching Lalish.
You go back way.
Yeah.
yeah, it is better.
Yeah, this is now better.
Yeah, it is okay, sir. It's fine. Okay. Okay.
No problem.
So I'm sent to you the link. You can share it that
Which link? Oh, okay, fine. Okay, thank you.
live link.
Okay.
Okay. Ready? 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Good evening, viewers. Welcome back to another session of Spotlight. In today's Spotlight, we have a very distinguished guest, Senator Samuel D. Thompson. I just introduced him to you. Senator Samuel D. Thompson, PhD, has been a member of New Jersey legislature since 1998. He served in the General Assembly until 2012 when he was sworn in as the senator for the 12th Legislative District. In the Assembly, Sam served as the Minority Appropriations Officer and as a member of Higher Education Committee and the Assembly Life Sciences Task Force. The senator was honored as New Jersey State Jewish War Veterans Legislator for the year 2006, New Jersey State WWF Legislator of the year 2005, Legislator of the Year by the New Jersey State Nurses Association in 2002, the Garden State Pharmacy Owners of the New Jersey State Pharmacists Association in 2001, New Jersey Recreation and Parks Association in 2003, the New Jersey Shore Builders in 2004, and New Jersey Association of Health, Physical Education and Recreational Dance in 2000. He was also cited by the Association of Asian Americans for the Excellence in Public Service in 2002 by the Indo-American Festival, Inc. for continued support of Indian American community. Senator Thompson received a BS degree with majors in chemistry and mathematics from the University of Arkansas and his doctorate in physical chemistry from Louisiana State University. He was employed as a research scientist for 6 years by DuPont and J.P. Stevens prior to 22 years with the New Jersey Department of Health. In the later position, he directed a variety of laboratory programs, concluding his career as the Director of Clinical Laboratory Improvement Service, in which capacity he licensed and regulated all the clinical laboratories and blood banks in the state. During this period, he also served for 10 years as the member of U.S. Armed Forces Epidemiological Board. Subsequently, Senator Thompson was employed for 3 years by the New Jersey Turnpike Authority as the Director of Planning, Analysis, and Government Relations, and later Director of Communications and Government Relations. Today, Dr. Thompson is a full-time legislator. Welcome, Senator. How are you?
I'm doing just fine and delighted to join Mana TV tonight.
Okay, sir. Sir, today's topic, as suggested by is why Trump's election is necessary for the country. Before we go to it, tell us what are the problems the country is facing now?
Well, of course, the number one problem we're facing right now is clearly the coronavirus. Getting our people safely and getting over this. I think we're on the path to that. It's anticipated we will have vaccines by the end of the year in very large volumes. And many other things are being done in order to get this under control. That's our number one thing. The second thing, of course, is the economic situation. The president had created the best economy this nation has ever seen before the virus came along. But of course, it resulted in many businesses closing down either temporarily or permanently, many layoffs, tremendous amount of people seeking unemployment. But we have seen a rebound already occurring. Thus, just in the last day or two, the GDP report was given out, and it was a 33% increase in the GDP in just the last 3 months. And it's anticipated it's going to keep coming up with President Donald Trump there.
Why this election is so important for the country? Underlyingly, the parties have divided the people into two. One is towards Republicans and one is towards Democrats, conservatives, and then liberals, and different names that they give. And in this election for US, in my opinion, is very critical. So in your opinion, why this election is so critical? Please explain to our audience.
It is because the tremendous difference in directions that the Democrats propose to take our country versus the direction that President Trump has taken. It kind of goes down to the difference in philosophy of the two parties. There's a biblical expression which says that you can give a man fish and he eat for a day, or teach him to fish and he can eat forever. And the Republicans, you teach them to fish so they can earn a good living and prosper, etc. The Democrats would prefer the government keep giving them that one fish a day and they'll never get anywhere. And that's the different paths that is proposed by President Trump versus what is being proposed by Joe Biden.
Okay, let's say you told one of the first and foremost problem the country is facing is coronavirus. Okay, how you think Trump has handled coronavirus and how Biden would have handled the coronavirus?
Well, actually, yes, sir. As I say, it continues to be a tremendous problem. But if you look at how the U.S. has prospered with this problem, well, the whole world has a problem. Europe, we're far better off today. Europe is trying to, and most any other country in the world. It's not an easy problem to solve. Incidentally, I do have a little background in this area too. President Bush had appointed me to the U.S. Armed Forces Epidemiological Board, where I served for 10 years. I would meet with the head of CDC, the Surgeon General of the Military Forces, and prominent science and medical professionals from all over the country. We would meet every 3 months at Walter Reed, where we would consider the health and occupational hazards facing our armed forces throughout the world. This was when, of course, we've had many problems come along, which we dealt with, similar, not too dissimilar from this. So I have a background in that area as well.
Okay, do you think, my question straight is, do you think that Trump has handled it in a proper way, or you feel that he should have handled it in a much better way?
No, I don't think there's any better way that it could have been handled. I mean, people have been encouraged to social distance, to wash their hands, to wear masks, and etc. And they have complied to a certain degree. I mean, America is a rather free country. There's no way you get 100% compliance. But that's one thing. Then the second thing is the research that he has paid for and sponsored, such as, again, to develop treatments and also to develop a vaccine. And as I say, we're not that far away from a vaccine now, and hopefully that will really turn things around. Of course, it's going to be hampered by the disinformation put out there as to the safety of that vaccine. That means when it's approved by FDA and the federal government, it will be a safe vaccine.
Do you think Governor Murphy has handled to his fullest extent, or he mishandled Corona?
I think he has actually handled it just about as well as you could. We have to keep evaluating the data and the situation. But there has to be a time that, again, you start relaxing some of these regulations. We're not there yet. But again, as I say, what it has done, the number of unemployed that out there temporarily laid off, our businesses have gone under because it cannot continue. Thus, as soon as possible, he needs to, again, increase the capacity that restaurants and businesses can have. But they have to follow along with the data when that time comes along.
In your opinion, now we are in the third wave of coronavirus as far as US is concerned. Do you think it's going to subside, and before it subsides, the vaccination will come? Or what is your opinion about this?
I think to really get over it, we're going to need the vaccine. And you have at least 3 firms out there that are well advanced in this. In fact, I might point out that I have volunteered myself to participate in a clinical trial. They indicated they have the trial going. And for me, they said, it'll be a while to get through because I am high risk. And they don't want to be risk in there until the latter phase. I'm ready. I do it. I volunteer not because I'm concerned about my possibly catching the virus, but to try to set an example for others. We need people in there, need the trials, and need to get this out there to protect the people.
I'm actually surprised. The other day, I have seen you in East Brunswick on the Trump's flag down march, whatever it is, without mask, and then you are able to mingle with everybody. Why are you so courageous? People talk a lot of things about elderly people should not mingle with the crowd without a mask.
Well, they've been very critical of the mass rallies he's had. And he has had mass rallies. But if he's had one single report of a significant outbreak as a result of it, I have not heard of one of you.
The final question in this segment is the mask going to make Biden win? Because in every meeting and every public gathering, whatever, how much our people came, he just opens his mask and speaks. Even if he is alone, he wears mask. So is mask going to make him win?
Again, the data tends to indicate that masks do not protect you, the wearer. They just protect the other people. But of course, we need to protect each other. Thus, if my wearing a mask protects you, then if you wear one, it protects me. So mask is not a total cure. I mean, there is a study that indicated that they checked the number of people who had come down with the virus, whether or not they wore a mask. And they found something like 85% of the people that had come down with the virus that they checked on had been wearing masks continuously. So it, as I say, it doesn't protect you, but it protects other people.
Okay. Okay, I keep hearing in the media that the pandemic is not going to end until end of 21. I think Dr. Fauci also has told several times that it's not going to end very soon. And the vaccination is also not going to come very soon. Your thoughts on this one, Senator?
I do anticipate the vaccine will be ready by the end of the year. Once you have it ready, then it takes a good while to get out to the public and get them all immunized, etc. So I said we'll go into next year before you really get the turnaround on it. But once the vaccine is there, we'll see a significant reduction in the transmission. They might also point it out that the new transmissions they're getting now, they're getting an upsurge in quite a few areas. But what they are seeing is that the major portion of those are the healthier, younger people. And of course, with the healthier, younger people, in most cases, well, first of all, 99.99% survive it. And really, it comes down to much more, not too much more than getting over the flu. If you're young and healthy, now, I mean, if you've got underlying conditions, or if you're my age or something, it's a very different thing.
Okay, I have people keep saying that Trump did not do well. Trump did not do well in Corona. I want to know, or I want my audience to know, what is the jurisdiction of Trump as far as the health is concerned? Is it the governor that has to make the decision, or is it the town that has to make the decision? As far as I know, president has to only provide the supplies and then general guidelines.
And he did a fantastic job of supplying the supplies. I mean, as soon as it hit and hospitals were being overwhelmed, and so New York and New Jersey in particular, he immediately got the production of ventilators going, etc. He supplied New York with every ventilator, far more than they ever needed. He sit in the ship, the hospital ship there, which was available. They opened the armory there, set it up as a hospital, etc. And they didn't use it. Matter of fact, in New York and in New Jersey, the governors there indicated the long-term care facilities had to take back that had COVID. And why this data also shows somewhere between 40 and 50% of all the deaths were the long-term care facilities. And that kind of thing, that's what led to that. I mean, hey, had to utilize the field hospitals that Trump had set up and the hospital ship, they would have had a lot less casualties today than they did have.
Okay, let's switch over to our other section being economy. Go ahead, sir.
Ask for anything else he has them available now, and they're being distributed.
Okay, thank you. How the economy will do in case Biden is elected, and how the economy will do if Trump is re-elected?
I hate to think what it'll do if Biden is elected. Biden has proposed increasing taxes. He proposed eliminating the tax cut that Trump enacted, that perhaps the largest in history. And he said, oh, he won't increase taxes on anybody with income under 140 to 150,000. Well, by eliminating the tax cut that Trump put in, it will actually cost the median income and lower income people $5,000 a piece. So it's not just the rich that need to be taxed. While Trump's approach and deregulation that he's done, if Biden comes in, you're going to see all these regulations coming back. And I'll tell you, at my age, I've seen an awful lot of elections. I have never been so frightened of a prospect of a presidential candidate getting elected and running the country as I am with regards to Joe Biden. Not to mention, of course, the hanky-panky that's going on with regards to his son, Hunter Biden, which he was intimately involved in, taking millions of dollars from China, taking money from all kinds of countries around for his father's influence. And the media refuses to cover them.
This is what I do not understand. Most of the Trump's tax cuts or most of the Trump's regulation cuts, they benefit the businesses. And in fact, the big tech companies also got benefited a lot. Why none of these big companies do support Trump, and why do they donate a lot of money to Biden's campaign?
You tell me and then we'll both know. But when we say business, big businesses, I don't know how many big businesses have done it, but the ones that have done it have done it with very big dollars, that's for sure. I'm sure there's a great deal of support out there among those folks as well.
Okay. Coming to again economy, do you think that Harris-Biden regime, the fracking, they want to stop the fracking? By stopping the fracking, they're not only closing the jobs in Pennsylvania, but also going to ruin the economy. It's going to have a cumulative effect on the entire economy. And at the end of the day, you are going to make some other country richer by buying oil from them. Tell me how they should do it and what they should not do.
First off, he's not just proposing stopping the fracking. He's proposing eliminating all fossil fuel. Talking not just fracking, you're talking natural gas, you're talking fuel oil and everything else. And they speak of the economic impact it will have on the workers in that field. But the economic impact will go much further than just the people working in that field and the owners of these, et cetera. They will go into virtually every household in the US, because currently by far the majority of homes are heated either with fuel oil or natural gas. Therefore, if he eliminates these, you're going to have to get rid of the heating system you've got in your home. And instead, you're going to have to utilize electricity, which he's saying is all going to be created by renewable energy. Can you imagine how much more electricity it would take if every home that is currently heated by fuel oil or natural gas had to be heated by electricity? Then, so there's that, and then that hits each homeowner there. But in addition, of course, he's going to have all cars electric cars. So again, think of the total amount of electricity you're talking about needing to generate by renewable electricity. For all the cars, all the miles that they drive, for all the homes that are heated, the transmission lines, nothing else can handle that. I don't think they can generate that much electricity just by renewable energy. And what they do, well, currently, renewable energy would not be affordable without subsidies. Thus, currently charge the companies that use oil and so on a fee, which they utilize to subsidize the renewable energy. So your energy costs are going to go sky high, and how they can handle this stuff is beyond me.
Okay, thank you. And one more most important thing that I have been observing ever since so-called peaceful protests have evoked on the streets of America, there is a lot of rioting and looting happening. And none of the Democrats are saying, at least acknowledging that at least there are some violent people and then spoiling the peaceful protests, and then they are indulging in this kind of activity. What they are trying to say is there is no looting and rioting at all. Everything is a peaceful protest.
Yeah.
Is it why do they not agree the fact that is happening, Senator?
And do you know who is responsible for the looting and violence that we see out there?
I don't know. Tell me, sir.
These so-called peaceful protesters. If those peaceful protesters were not there, the rioters would not be out there looting and everything else. Now, it's their responsibility. These people who have peaceful protests, when they see somebody going to smash a window, they could be going and surrounding that person and saying, no, you don't do that. That's not here. But have you seen one person trying to stop one of these rioters, looters that is supposedly there peacefully? No. They're only doing that because these supposedly peaceful protesters are there. But if you're a peaceful protester, it is your responsibility to stop them. Not wait for the cops to come.
Mhm.
You know, you're actually an accessory after the fact if you're the reason they're there and you're just standing by and watching nothing. But we have so much of that breaking out throughout our country. I mean, here in the last few days, it was over in Philadelphia. Where will it be next week? And of course, it hasn't been only in the mega cities. It began getting into some of the smaller towns and cities too. So this stuff has to be stopped. And President Trump very clearly says, hey, I'm here ready to come in there and restore law and order. You just have to ask.
Mhm.
Democrat mayors and Democrat governors, that they won't do it. Like he said, he did send troops into Minneapolis, and bang, it was gone in no time. But
Mhm.
the Democrats just stand by, out in Spokane and in California, et cetera. They almost encourage them.
Okay.
And Joe Biden does not say a word.
No, he did not say. That's what is more problematic to some people who are undecided yet to vote. Why these guys are not saying a single word about violence? At least, okay, this is bad. The violence is bad. They're not even saying that. Including the former first lady, she released some 23-minute statement sometime back. There, she did not even mention single word about violence. And this is the state of affairs of Democrats.
Well, in a number of these cities and so on where this has taken place, the residents there are beginning to wake up. Yet again, mayors are telling the cops, stand down, don't go in there, etc. And they are beginning to react to this. So let's see what's going to happen to their election when they're running for re-election next time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So do you think that one of the major issue for Donald Trump and Joe Biden will be the peace on the streets, like safety and security on the streets of America, or people are not going to consider that as for voting some senator?
There are some parts of our country where that will be considered significant.
Mm-hmm.
It will not be nationwide because the majority of people don't see their homes being threatened yet. But the more widespread it comes, then not to mention the fact that, while we have the Black Lives Matter calling for defunding police, etc.,
Mm-hmm.
I think by far the majority of the people support their police. They know they're there to protect their health and safety and so on. And without them, crime would run rampant. In fact, in a number of cities, in addition to what's happening in the peaceful protests, they see crime rising in other areas and so on when the protests aren't going there. And, police are being discouraged from doing anything right now. If they go out and do anything, oh my God, somebody's going to say, you're terrible. But what are the problems here comes, I think, that in some areas, children are taught to be afraid of the police. And when they react like, fighting or something, when a cop comes up, the cop sees this as some kind of suspicious activity. If you just respond to a cop in a normal fashion and respond to his questions and so on, you're not going to have a problem. But when you respond in a manner that you act suspicious, things go from there.
Coming to education, do you support school choice, Senator?
Oh, yes, I do support school choice. I mean, it's not necessary in all areas. A lot of areas have great schools and so on. But there are some areas, particularly some urban areas, where the public school system is almost disastrous. I mean, they cite Baltimore, for example. They said they had almost zero kids graduating that pass the reading exam. If that's the case in your local school system, you need to have a choice to send your child to a school where you get properly educated. So they're not needed everywhere, but there are places there badly.
Does the school choice is going to make some schools incompetent, and then at the end of some time they perish, and then some other schools they get overcrowded, and ultimately because of overcrowding again the education standard will go down? Is the problem not going to come, Senator?
Is a problem? I'm sorry.
The problem is like because of school choice, some schools will be without students and some schools are overcrowded. The schools with no students will perish, and then schools with overcrowding will have a problem. So how you think the whole problem can be solved?
I think it can be resolved.
Mhm.
And a lot of it comes down to the local authorities, the people themselves, who they elect and so on. Because most of their decisions are made at the local level rather than schools. The state has a good deal of impact, but again, it really comes down to the local level.
Mhm. This next thing is about the indoctrination of anti-American things that are being taught in the school. I think Trump keeps on telling. I think it is not untrue because I came from a country where I studied when in my childhood some 45 years ago about our culture in the social studies book of fourth grade when I was in fourth grade. Now I went and then just try to see it's not there. In fact, my social studies and the history books of India, they were glorifying our invaders more than our own culture. If you go and then talk to any of the students in India, they know more about our invaders than us. So do you think that this is a growing problem and it should be stopped? And how can we stop?
I don't support the direction they're going in that respect. I believe it is important that we be taught to respect our ancestors and what they've done. Were any of them perfect? No. But what was the major thing that they did? That was what the major actions good or bad?
Mhm.
Hey, people live according to the time they're in. I mean, hey, I don't support slavery, never supported slavery, etc. But there was a day and time. And by the way, by far the majority of people were not slave owners. It was
Mhm.
all wealthy group that did. Most of the people were out there doing their own work and etc. So to condemn our country because that was there. Hey, it's been all over the place in the world that there have been slaves. We should live on what is great about our country rather than try to find something in the past that we can fuss up.
Okay. So we almost came to end of the session, Senator. I would like you to give any final remarks to our audience and then general people to America.
Well, it has been said many times, and it's true. This is probably the most important election that we will see in our lifetime. The contrast between Joe Biden and what he wants to do and Donald Trump, what he has done and what he wants to continue to do. We didn't even touch on what he's accomplished in foreign relations. Look what he's there in the Middle East and numerous other areas. The direction of our country is on the line for good. If you think our country has been doing well in the past, what we've been doing, you should be voting for Donald Trump. Again, a vote for Biden, I think, will lead to ultimate disaster in our country.
Okay. Thank you, Senator. Thanks for your time. And then we'll definitely see you very soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Okay, sir. Viewers, that's it from Senator Thompson. And then we will have another interesting interview by Nisha Sharma, who is running from California for the Congressional District 11. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on. We'll just come back in a second.
Okay, who you been talking to?
Welcome, Nisha. How are you today?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Very good, very good. Okay.
So,
Today we have, okay, we'll start. Today we have with us Nisha Sharma, who is running as a Republican candidate from California's District 11. The California's District 11 has 725K population, out of which 51% are female and 48% are males and 25% are Hispanic community. Unemployment is high, it's 12%, and median household income is around 70K. High school graduates are 87%, while college graduates are 41. From this, Nisha Sharma is contesting and fighting her opposer, who has been there for almost 10 years. And this district has been a Republican district until 2004, and then Democrats flipped in 2004. We'll see whether Nisha Sharma is going to flip it back for Republicans or not. Nisha, how are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you so much for having me here.
Okay, tell us about yourself, Nisha, and why you are running this time as a Republican candidate.
Yes, definitely. I migrated in US in 2004, and to pursue my American dream, I barely escaped the socialism in India. And when after getting many opportunities, I can call myself blessed enough that I got all the platforms that I worked hard for. And today I'm a successful real estate agent in East Bay. And East Bay is my home since I came to United States. So I know what East Bay deserves. And when I was working with many organizations here, what I witnessed that we do not have proper representation in Washington. And also the way the left party has shifted to the extreme left, it's not going to bring anything good for the district. So I had to stand up, I had to run for the office, and I saw that, yes, definitely I can be the voice of my people because I know what my district deserves here. And definitely for the upcoming generations, I want that they still believe in the beauty of hard work, because the way Democrats are promoting socialism and communism, it's not going to do any good to the district, to California, and United States of America. I'm raising a beautiful family here with my husband. I'm blessed with 3 children. And as a concerned mother, the way we are witnessing the mobs, these riots, and the way they're justifying it under the name of protests, that's very much alarming to us. And not a single Democrat, leader came out and condemned these kind of things. They are tearing down our historical statues, burning down our cities. This is alarming for us. This is not the America that I come for. We want to make sure that the upcoming generations and more immigrants who wants to come and pursue their American dream, they have those opportunities here. Socialism never worked, not in India, not in Venezuela, and it will not work here either. So we have to raise our voices now, because our Indian communities, they are known for hardworking communities, highest tax-paying communities here, and most law-abiding communities here. But when it comes to the law-making decisions, we lack representation there. We lack voice there. And I think our discussions just end up in the living rooms, but I think no more. We should have our loud and clear voices in Washington, D.C. And I think I am the change agent for CA11. When I'm in the Congress, I will be a very clear and loud voice for my district there.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Okay. Tell me, what are the problems that your district currently is facing, and how you think that the current representative is failing the people of your district?
Definitely. When I filed my candidacy, I was also doing the surveys here, and I was meeting people in person. And I met thousands and thousands of families here. As I also come from a real estate business, so I've been working with many families to help them buy, sell, or rent properties here. And at grassroots levels, I know the needs of this district. So the first issue that came up with district is homelessness, that the growing homelessness here. After San Francisco, the homeless population is inclining towards District 11, and it's increasing very rapidly here. But nobody is paying attention towards that. When I started working with them, I find out that these people, they do deserve a second chance. They should be welcomed back in the society, because people go and donate food, but they do not ask what their problems are. When I started working with them, I find out that they do not need food or water or drinks. They said they have plenty of that. They want second chance. They want skill-based training. They want jobs there so that they can join us back in the society and they be an asset to this country. So I've been working with them. So definitely we need to have a holistic approach towards them and have better programs for them. We have funds here. Federal funds are there. But I think my opponent, Mark Disonia's programs towards homelessness are not working. So definitely we have to work on the newer programs. I have so many ideas on those, that how we can help homeless people here and welcome back to the society and make them an asset to this country, to California, to District 11. And the second issue that came up was high cost of living. It is connected with these type of things. How? Because due to the higher taxes, California is the highest tax paying state in the US. And
I know. We used to have an office in California, in Santa Clara, and we got to close it because for, let's say, for 3,000 square foot of office, we are paying a hell lot of money. And then they are increasing every year. So it's better we close it and come here. We came to New Jersey. New Jersey is not so good, but still better than California. Go ahead.
Definitely. And if this Harris-Biden administration came in power, they are going to increase further the taxes. Actually, I think it's going to be more than 60% the way they are planning right now. And this is not going to bring any more further businesses, job opportunities to my people here. It's not going to help us. So, the higher taxes is going to hurt this state more. When I'm in the office, I will be working on the lower taxes. I will keep them low. I will bring more programs that people invest money further in their businesses instead of paying those towards the taxes, because that will create more jobs. That will give them more opportunities, and they will reinvest the money they are making out of those programs. So there are plenty of good programs there under Trump administration that I will be working on. And the third issue that was coming was the crumbling infrastructure here. California, everybody knows it's a golden state. IT is here. Silicon Valley is very popular here. But still, the infrastructure. In the East Bay, where I live, District 11 has a 40-year-old BART structure. They are in very, very bad shape that instead of having enough federal funds here, we are using 40-year-old BART infrastructure. Why they are not changing it? Why they are not providing these basic amenities to the district people here? My constituents deserve best. They're working hard, they're paying taxes, but what they're getting? Every day there are new potholes in the road. The parks, they are in bad shape. If you go to the Richmond side area, there are a lot of areas that I call opportunity zones if we work on it, if I bring my plans there. But my opponent, Mark Desonia, he's failing us terribly there. We are getting proper presentation there. So definitely these are the issues that my district is facing right now. And these are alarming concerns for us. And we have to take positions on these things.
Why do you think?
Yeah, go ahead.
Why do you think Mark is unable to leverage on the opportunity zones that were being funded by federal government, and then why he is unable to make a change in the lives of the people?
Because the Democratic establishment, they are working on 3Ds agenda. It's like destroy, dismantle. Because the way they are doing it, they are just destroying the economy by forcing these shutdowns on us. Shutting down is not a result here. America is not known for this. We have to reopen our economy. People who are healthy, they should go back to their job. But how these 3Ds are working with Democrats, it's just bringing us down. It's not going to help the constituents here. And they are dismantling our policies here, dismantling our constitutional rights here. They're attacking us. So our houses of worship are closed. I think this is the time that we should open these houses with precautions and give all the credit, give all the credibility to our God, not to these governments. We have to raise our voices, because the way they are doing is, it's not the government should be telling us how we should live our lives. We can do it living long time now, and we know how to take care of this, how we can take precautions, what is social distancing, what is masks, and how to sanitize. All these things should be taken care, but closing down is not the option here.
Mhm.
And also they are just in destruction mode, the way they want to bring the economy down. This way, California is never going to come back the way it was before. And
Mhm.
definitely, being a Republican, I completely stand for 3 Rs. We believe in renew, rebuild, and restore. How? We have to open up our businesses. We have to bring more job opportunities here, you know. And with Republicans under Trump administration, we will be having $1.7 billion towards the reinvestment by giving them tax cuts so that they reinvest that money in the businesses, and in return they will be creating more jobs, and that will be further help us in the economy boost. So I think it's a clear agenda that it's between 3 Ds and 3 Rs, and definitely California need these 3 Rs very, very badly right now. And people should not be thinking of voting towards Dems. They have given enough chances to them and they have failed us.
Mhm.
And I don't see that they deserve any chance for next term here.
Let us step back a while and then let us go back to homelessness as well as cost of living. And then I heard that California received a lot of federal dollars towards rehabilitating these homeless people. There was a big story, I think, in your district or nearby district. Instead of relocating them in a nicer place, they have brought them into, they bought a very high cost real estate and then relocated them in the center of the city. I think there's a lot of havoc is going on. Tell us more about it. And who is the reason for ever increasing cost of living in California, ever increasing cost of real estate? And then is it the tech companies? Is it the government unable to handle so very well? Or what is causing these two problems, main problems?
The main reason is that every year we are promised these false promises, the lip service by Democrats, and every year they fail those things to give us back here. I am here from last 14 years. We've been promised for the best infrastructure here, but every day, as a hardworking person, we are stuck in the traffic. These are the basic amenities that we are lacking here in CD11. As you said, the property taxes, the rents, everything is high here in East Bay. Why? Because the taxes are very high here. They imposed every year new taxes on us. That's why people cannot even afford houses here. Many of the homeless people that I've been working with, tons of them were those who have jobs, but they still cannot afford the rent here. So we
Mhm.
have to have those programs, those incentives for the hardworking people here so that they can have affordable housing. Not the free housing, I'm saying affordable housing for those hardworking people who are paying their taxes, who are asset to this country and contributing towards this economy. Because I think Democrats only believe in raising taxes. They just keep on imposing taxes. And what's happening is we are losing bigger companies. They are moving out of California. They are not setting up, they are not expanding their programs here. Because only then, if we are business friendly state and we have better provisions for them, if we have tax cuts for them, then we can generate more jobs. Then we can have better economy here. And bigger companies will come back to California. That will
Mhm.
help us to stabilize everything, the taxes and the rents, everything. People should have a good life here. You know, what I see is in California, people believe in working hard, but they get disheartened when they have to pay more than 50% of their income towards taxes. That discourage them. People
Mhm.
are moving out of California. Even in this pandemic, I know tons of families, those who didn't wait to stabilize this pandemic and they can go back to their jobs. They said no, they are not going to wait furthermore. They are moving out of California.
Mhm.
I think they are failing us at grassroots levels. They have to rethink on their policies, the tax policies, and
Mhm.
all those things. They have to help small business people here. How they can do that? I have so many plans, and I have been working with my team that when I am in the Congress, these plans will work for my district.
Mhm.
They just are power hungry people. They just want to be in power. they do not think about Americans, they do not think about America here. So I think we do not need career politicians in Washington. We need representatives there who know what we need here, who are our voices there. And I consider myself the change agent for CD11.
Okay. Before asking my question, because you said that career politicians are not welcome. Okay. Suppose if you keep on electing, getting elected to Congress, how many terms you will keep contesting? Or in other way, do you support term limits?
Yes, I will. I really support term limits, not more than 3.
Oh, okay. So you'll run for 3 times, 2 more times if you win now.
Yes,
Good
definitely.
luck. Good luck. Okay. About the Prop 16 bill, which is on ballot this time, this election in California state. Tell us about your stand on it, and then what it means to our audience, because it is quite new to people in East Coast. Possibly for maybe if you explain, it may be people from India may just connect it.
Right.
Okay, tell us more about Prop 6, your stand, and then what will be its bad effects. Tell us.
First of all, my request to all the people who are watching Mana TV, please vote no on Prop 16. It's a racially discrimination for all Asian communities here. It is going to snatch the opportunity from our kids, from our upcoming generations, from the admissions to the colleges here. The way they are working on it is that kids will be given the admission on the basis of their ethnicity and the percentage of that ethnicity in the area. Right now in California, Asian kids are getting 30% of the admissions here in the California universities and colleges. But if Prop 16, if people voted yes on it and it got the majority, then that means it will drop down to 14%. It's a huge difference here. And kids will not be getting admissions on the basis of their skills, on their scores, or on their, the things that they have worked hard for. That will discourage our kids. And I think Trump administration is the only administration that does not support this. They believe in equality of education, equality of chances to everybody, not on the basis of their ethnicity. That's what America stands for. And Prop 16 is completely ridiculous, and it's going to hurt our kids very badly. I'm a mother to 3 kids, and I know what are the consequences my kids will be paying for this. In spite of having good scores, the kids who haven't scored that much, those kids will be given preference. This is kind of quota system. It is not going to work here. After this, they are going. If they got successful in this, they will go into private sector. This will happen in jobs. It's already started actually. We can see that already private sectors are getting hit by this. So
is it some kind of reservation that we see in India?
In India, yeah, you can say that it is there, right? And it doesn't work. The people who had worked hard whole their life, they got their scholarships, they are A+, they have straight grades. Those kids will not be given the opportunity to the California universities here. But other kids, just because of their ethnicity, the race they belong to. So I completely condemn Prop 16. And again, clear message to everyone. This is not something belonging to Democrats or Republicans. This is between right and wrong. This is a complete attack on us. So we have to raise our voices now and vote no on Prop 16.
Why do you think Democrats in your state, whether the people who are running for Congress or Senate, initially they said no for this Prop 16 bill, and then they reversed their positions. For example, Ro Khanna, he reversed his stand on Prop 16. Why would they do so?
Because
go ahead.
These leaders are career politicians. To stay in power, to stay in the house, they will keep doing all these political things. Because for them, it's not America. It's not American. They're just politics. I sorry to say that Ro Khanna is not our representative.
I know.
When he was getting elected, everybody, we thought that he's the hope for this Indian Americans there, and we all helped him in his campaign, including our family. But he failed us miserably.
Tell us how current, Democrats in the present House are treating this issue of Kashmir and then other things, 370 article, which is pertaining to India. Are they going to be helpful to India or no? If Democrats are elected, the ones like Rokanas.
Oh, first of all, it's all about other country. I don't know why they are going to interfere there. I seriously don't see that. India never interferes in other countries' issues here. They passed 370 and everything they have done within their limits, that was passed in parliament with majority. And they did it everything the way they're supposed to do it. The representatives here have nothing to do with it. You know why they're doing it? To make other communities happy about it, like these radical Islamic terrorism organizations, because they get funds from them. I'm telling you the truth. Just make them happy. They condemn these things, and they say reject Hindutva and all those things, and they talk about Hindu phobia, all those things. They're nobody. I will say they are not even Indian. They are not representing us, because once they get elected, they are into their political mode and how they can keep their chair, their position safe there, and they will fall to any lowest level for that, to just keep their chair there. And for Indian Americans, I will ask them that before they cast their votes, they should do their research properly. Somebody is cheating on their motherland or from where they have come, they can never serve this country. They are not our true representatives here.
Your state is famous for two important female candidates, one being Harris, one being Nancy. Are they doing any good to your state, being from the Democratic Party or from the House or whatever it is?
Have you ever been to San Francisco?
Yeah, I visited recently, and then my kids, they got scared the way people are, the homeless people are doing all sorts of bad things on the streets of California.
You just answered the question. Your kids got scared in San Francisco, right? So what do they have turned San Francisco into? Both come from that side, right? They haven't been anything good to this California. Nancy Pelosi and Kamala Harris, they do not deserve any more terms here.
Okay.
They should be kicked out. They should be kicked out. We cannot afford any more term with them. My district, my California, and this country deserves better than that. They should retire. We don't deserve them, actually. Hopefully people use their mind and cast their votes wisely, and elect the deserving candidates, not to these good for nothing people here who just want to be there in authority forever and forever.
What kind of support that Indians can get if you are elected as a representative for the House, Nisha?
Indian Americans definitely are their voice here. If people are going to condemn 370 or the Citizenship Act and talking about these things, I will be very clear and loud about that. That's nothing related to United States. You just mind your own business there, and that country is taking care of their citizens, and they are on the right path under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is a really, really good friend to our President Trump here. And this friendship, I really wish that this friendship goes long way, and both countries get benefit from that friendship.
Do you think that Trumoism is Trump and Modiism, is going to benefit the world in the years to come?
Definitely. I'm very, very positive about that. Both leaderships are very important for this world right now. In this time of pandemic, it's only President Trump and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi. They can be together. This world will witness many good things in the future.
Okay. How is your campaign going on?
Campaign is going really good. Actually, I'm the only candidate here whose campaign is really, really, people appreciate it, and I get thousands of emails on daily basis. Even I'm the only candidate I think who got the attention from Democrats as well as independent voters, and how they see hope in me. My district is very hopeful for this change, and especially from Democrats and independents, because I think not only me, my constituents, I call them my constituents. I will not call them Democrats or independents, because when I'm in the office, I'm not going to differentiate between them. I am going to represent each and every one of them, right? They are also sick and tired of all these lip service. Every year they promise, and they keep choosing incumbents. I think this 2020 has taught them a lot. The way democratic establishment has attacked on their constitutional rights, their freedom to speech and freedom to work, all these things, it's alarming for them, and they really want this change. California needs change for them.
I have been observing one more thing. I've been speaking to a lot of people like you for the last 15 days. One common thing I observed is the Republican candidates who are running for Congress or Senate, they are able to raise far less money than the Democrats. And then most of the money that Democrats are getting is from the big companies. Why? The question is like the Trump's policies are benefiting these companies, not the democratic policies. Why they do not support Republicans, which is good for business, and why they do support Democrats? Is there any specific reason?
I think California is currently a dark blue state for sure. No doubt. I think this year we will witness a change. And as far as I know about my campaign, I'm running this campaign at grassroots level. I've been completely volunteer-based campaign. People are working for me hours and hours, making calls, walking streets, helping me out without charging me. And support and as far as the donations are concerned, it's individual-based donations here. I haven't received any money from big IT companies or any PAC, nothing like that. It's individual-based support here. And when you are working on grassroots level, that's how you get connected with your voters. That's how you get to know what they need, what this district deserves here. And my incumbent, he even haven't stepped out of his house from months. He is that much confident.
Oh, not you alone, not him alone. His boss, Biden, is also not stepping out, and Harris is also not stepping out. I have seen many other Republican candidates here in New Jersey and other places. They're not going.
They are not. He is so much, confident. I will say he's overconfident.
Not confident. They're taking people for granted, it looks. Oh, okay, they're going to vote for me. America, you need to understand this. They are actually literally taking people for granted.
They are. That's why I urge my voters, they do their research before they cast their votes, because their vote matters. Each vote counts, and that can bring the change. That can bring the balance back to district, to California and United States.
Okay, thank you, Nisha. We came to end of the session. I really thank you, and we wish you all the good luck to you, and then hope you will give us the first interview. I think you are almost there. When I saw the numbers, you are almost there. Your polls, local polls. Good luck again. Thank you, Nisha.
Thank you so much for giving me this platform. And just last message to all the people who are watching this. Thank you for giving me this opportunity here. Please do visit my website. It's nishaforcongress.com. It's NISHAFORCONGRESS.com. And join my fight, donate, volunteer, whatever you can, but join my fight. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good evening, viewers. That is the interview with Nisha Sharma. I think we'll come back tomorrow with another interview and then a discussion about the path to 273, how Trump is going to achieve